CashFlow Diary Podcast, episode 259.
Welcome to yet another exciting episode of the CashFlow Diary Podcast, the podcast that teaches you insider tips, tactics, and strategies for creating leverage streams of cash flow into your life. Learn from top-performing entrepreneurs, business owners, investors, and thought leaders from across the globe as they share their secrets to success. Like what you learn on this and other CashFlow Diary podcast episodes? Go to learninvestingnow.com and sign up to receive powerful tips and information that will help you succeed as an entrepreneur and investor. Now, here's your host, investor, entrepreneur, business owner, educator, speaker, author, and master facilitator of Robert Kiyosaki's cash flow game, Jay Massey.
All right. How you guys doing? Welcome to another episode of the CashFlow Diary Podcast. I'm your host, Jay Massey. I'm glad that you are here. We are always, and I mean like always, learning new things, trying new things, becoming bigger, better, badder in every sense of the word. And I think you should be too. Well, what does that mean for you today? Here's what we are now doing. Many of you know that as the, times change, right? Marketing changes, your business changes, you change, your kids definitely change. And my kids have been changing a ton. But one of the children you might have is your business. And guess what? It's changing. The needs it has changes. More importantly, as I hinted at earlier, how people find out and discover you changes. What does that mean? That means I've been silently in the background learning lots of different things about social media and various different platforms. And we have begun producing content on both Periscope and Facebook Live. So you may have caught me from time to time on Periscope or Facebook Live. And hopefully you've participated. If not, that's okay. It's definitely not too late because we will be there again. I want to give you those details. Again, it's just simply at CashFlow Diary over there on Periscope, or you can go to facebook.com/CashFlow Diary. Make sure you like the Facebook page and you will receive notifications when I go live to share again more content. Again, most of the time it's just me. Sometimes my kids have made an appearance. In fact, you're going to hear that today. So today, what I wanted to do is I took the audio from the Periscope that we did, that we launched with. It was just kind of a test and experiment, but some great information was contained within. And we had lots of comments from those who were watching. And I was like, you know what? I think these guys, these podcast listeners of ours, you would benefit from this too. So if you are just joining us, and I think definitely if you haven't been here since episode 1, this one will probably help you a ton because I wanted to break down what it takes to become a real estate entrepreneur. So just as a quick recap, if you want to catch us, and I suggest you do, go over to Periscope.com. So you can go periscope.tv/CashFlow Diary. That'll get you there to be able to follow us. Or you can just, if you already have the Periscope app on your Android or iPhone, you can just follow us there. And you will be able to see more content, and again, live. I've done it from various locations. I've done the office already a couple of times. I've definitely done my second office, also known as Starbucks. So you never know where I might be, but we're going to continue to do our best to produce the content there. So again, you can go to Periscope at CashFlow Diary, or you can obviously go to facebook.com/CashFlow Diary, like the page, and you'll be there as well. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to let you listen in on how that first one went. Here we go. And here. And yep, they can see you now, just so you know. Hello, everyone. Jay Massey here. We're going to be producing a lot more content on both. Over here, we've got you guys over on Periscope. Over here, we've got Facebook Live. I guess some of you can see in the background one of my children. This is Jasleen. Say hi. Hi. Okay, there you go. She is the 8-year-old. There's 4 total children. She's the one in the room having the most fun wanting to be here. So most of you, I was going to say, if you've never been on one of the scopes, give me a shout out right there. But I guess in this particular case, none of you have ever been on one of these scopes. Or if you've first time joining us on Facebook Live, it's the first time, because we're just now starting this particular way of communicating with everyone. So that way, we'd like to be able to just share more information. So as I said in the title, going to share with you how I became a real estate entrepreneur, and more importantly, how you can do the same. A couple of things. I definitely want to say a good shout out for all of the replay viewers. So glad that you guys could make it here. And do me a favor, whether you're on Facebook or whether you're on Periscope, just tell me where you're from real fast, because I'm always curious to see where people are actually, dialing in from, so to speak. It's not like you're dialing anymore, but where you guys are. I think that's pretty interesting. Oh,
Hey, the pizza!
the pizza's here?
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Awesome. I didn't expect that. They said it was going to take 30 minutes. Clearly, that happened much, much faster. So welcome to a normal day in my life, is the kids and the pizza. The pizza's really here. Can you bring me the item, bring me the thing to sign? This is crazy. All right, I see Gainesville, Florida, Macon, Georgia. Yes, please keep typing the hearts. I'm going to get into the content in just a second. I so was not expecting the pizza guy. Make sure you get crushed red pepper and the Parmesan cheese. Hold on. I'm going to give it back to him. Here, there you go. Thank you. Go. Awesome. So, welcome to my life, and world. This is typically how it goes around here. So again, if you're just now joining us, comment where you're from. I see Greensboro. Welcome. Gainesville, Florida over here on Facebook. Welcome. Glad that you guys are here. For those of you who don't know, my name is Jay. I CEO of CashFlowDiary. You can go to CashFlowDiary.com. We've been around for quite a while in terms of doing real estate, so multifamily housing, cell phone towers, single family housing, notes. We've done a number of different types of deals all across the United States. And I'm primarily a cash flow guy. Like, that's my thing. I don't really talk a whole lot about fixing and flipping and that type of thing. That's not really what we do. Thank you. C is like C Hunt 84. Thank you for the good shout out there. I appreciate it. And so our intent is to continue to help create more and more real estate entrepreneurs. Did you get everything?
Yeah.
And you got all the food?
Next time you can take.
Oh, and I got a coupon too. Thank you. Awesome. Close the door back for me. Are you coming in or are you staying out?
I'm gonna.
Okay, go. All right. So, with all of that being said, today what we're going to be talking about really is, yes, buy and hold is my thing, definitely. Today what we're going to be talking about is how to become a real estate entrepreneur. And I think one of the best ways to do that. In fact, if you know you have a friend who needs to know this type of information, by all means, please go ahead and share. For those of you on an iOS or Android, you should be able to just click there should be a number in your lower right corner. Click that. You should be able to hit the share button very, very easily. And definitely, if I say anything that you like, we appreciate the hearts over here and thumbs ups and likes over here on Facebook. That would be great. So what I want to do is I just share my journey. It's not like I woke up one day and said, hey, I want to become a real estate investor. That was so not the plan. I'm a military kid, grew up overseas, actually 11 years in Germany. I used to speak German. I don't anymore, for those of you wondering. And the reason things like that are important, because I strongly have learned that to be a successful entrepreneur, a lot of your history, who you've been in front of in the past and who you've learned and grew up around, has a lot to do with where you can find your genius. And for me, it wasn't at school, college dropout. It wasn't any of those things. And that where my genius came alive. It wasn't on the basketball court, although I do dunk a basketball, and that's kind of fun. You should try it if you haven't. One of the things that I just want to say, though, is that all of those things come together to create who we are. So in this particular case, real estate came to me, not because I was looking for it, but my wife and I we were just in a tough situation. What do I mean by that? Well, my wife, when she's pregnant, she has a condition known as hyperemesis. It means that she could not eat or drink. She just couldn't eat or drink. And that's really what it comes down to. I don't know how long you've been alive, but eating and drinking is relatively necessary. So being stressed out one day, what I went to do is I went to go play volleyball. I jumped, I landed on a guy's head, punctured my lung. And what ended up happening was that I developed a condition known as pleurisy and therefore could not walk and talk simultaneously because I have asthma. That just led to a realization, because I had been told that you were supposed to go to school, get good grades, get a job, right? I don't know if you've heard that. If you've heard something like that, give me a shout out in the comments. Say, yep, I heard that. I got that email too, because that's what I was told. That's what I grew up on. Well, that system I didn't know was, broken. And I found out because my wife was sick and I was sick and we were unable to physically go to work. And when that happened, we lost our source of income. See, and one of the first things that you must understand is that you don't need a job. You need a source of income. And I'm hopefully going to continually, as we go through content, always going to do my best to change your thinking, because the most important number one thing that I believe that I can help you with is begin to plant seeds that will grow, and then you'll take action on them. And some of you are going to become awesome real estate entrepreneurs. I just know it because that's what's happened as I've now gotten to travel the globe and go across the world, et cetera, et cetera. Well, here's the point. I learned that we needed a source of income. A source of income could come from many different places. And it was one of the times where I was introduced to the concept of cash flow or passive income. It's where I understood that, hey, there are people out there who actually earn money without physically getting up and going to work, which I was like, wow, where are those people? Because they definitely weren't my friends, right? That's not who I grew up around. Maybe you did. I didn't know. I wasn't taught those systems. I didn't have a high school teacher who said, hey, here's how you make passive income. And if you did, awesome, great. So through that process, because previously, while all this was going on, I was a financial planner. The one thing I did get the opportunity to see was that my clients, the ones who I knew would have a successful retirement, all had rental real estate in common. The challenge was I didn't know anything about it. Well, in this particular case, what happened is as like I said, my wife was sick. She was unable to walk and talk. I had a punctured lung. She was unable to eat and drink, and I was unable to walk and talk. And what ended up happening is a friend came to me and said, hey, I got a solution for you. You need to become a real estate investor. Now, have you ever seen a dog do this? Because that's kind of what I did. I'm like, what do you mean? Yes, exactly. That face. Thank you very much. When a dog does that face, you're just like, it doesn't make any sense, because at the time we had a credit score of 398. Okay, 398. We couldn't even put $75 together. It just didn't make sense. He was like, yeah, you should become a real estate investor and provide housing for other people. Like, really? Oh, okay. That did not compute. And long story short, he said, yeah, and you can do it without using any of your own money or credit. I'm like, really? Good, because I have neither of those, and I also have no experience. And by the way, I'm dreadfully introverted and don't really like initiating conversation with people. So that's your challenge. Are you willing to accept it? And more or less, he said yes. So starting from that standpoint, we were squatting in bank-owned property. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, we were selling our personal possessions on eBay. We were making decisions like electricity or food. And this is when I began to understand something. Your current situation is irrelevant for wherever it is that you want to go. What is relevant is, can you help somebody? Do you have a skill set that the marketplace assigns value to? So, for example, what do I mean by that? I mean, the next time you go to the doctor, like if you've ever gone to the emergency room, have you ever said to the doctor, hey, let me see what grade did you get in biology? Did you graduate top of your class? Like, imagine you're in the emergency room, you're bleeding. Have you ever once asked anybody for credentials? The answer is no. All you needed to see was that they were in the appropriate uniform and they were there, and therefore You assumed they could help you because they were confident enough to ask you the right questions and stand in their own power and be able to serve you. That, my friends, is the essence of value. That, my friends, is the essence of what you need to become a real estate entrepreneur. And this is how I got there. I started selling things on eBay, right? I know it sounds crazy, but I was buying things at a discount and then selling them at a discount online. So what do I mean? I would go on eBay, I would go to garage sales, like on a Saturday, like a today, right? I'd go on garage sales, and what I would do is I would buy, say, Disney plates. You know, you've seen those Disney collector plates. I'd buy one of those, really discounted, because by the time it's at a garage sale, it's dirty, it's dusty, they don't want it anymore, etc. And then I'd clean it up, take some photos, put it on eBay, and resell it. That's literally what I would do. Now, you only make $5 to $10 every time you did that. That was pretty tough. And those are the things that are a challenge, you know, but that's what I was doing. Now, I didn't know you could do the same thing with real estate, but that's how I did my first 200 transactions. I would buy houses at a discount. So and in certain parts of the US, in the country right now, you can still find houses for $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 or that are worth that much. I would buy houses even as low as $20,000, right? And be able to resell them really quickly inside of 72 hours and make $2,000 in the middle. And that's how I started. We did, like I said, 200 transactions that way. It was pretty awesome. And it began to change what was possible, probable for us. And that's what I always tell everybody is when you're thinking about this game of real estate investing, think about what it is that you currently do. What you currently earn in a year, imagine earning that in a month. Okay. So whatever that is, that is the potential. That is the magnitude and more of what is possible as a real estate investor. So over these years, that's where I started. And, that's just where I started. And I went from buying and selling houses really quickly. Then I said, hey, I want to keep some of these myself. Then I learned to raise capital. Then then we would buy, 35 houses at a time. And then I was like, okay, well, now we need to raise capital. And then I would start raising hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I was like, okay, cool. And then you end up with more money than you have deals. And then my CFO at the time came to me and said, you need to do bigger deals. And I'm like, okay, well, I guess that means I have to do apartment buildings. And, today we've got, buildings. What is our smallest building right now? We have our smallest building. I know you don't know. I think our smallest building is 17 units and the largest is 182. We have a cell phone tower, commercial real estate, all these types of things. But it started with understanding the concept of value and where value was. See, when you can deliver value to someone, that's the only thing that matters when they have a true problem. No one really cares. You don't care where your mechanic grew up. You care when your car is broken, can you fix it? Do you know how to fix it? If you know how to fix it, you're my guy, you're my gal, great. That's what's important. And that is the essence of being a real estate entrepreneur. That's why I don't actually like the term real estate investor because it implies or makes people think they have to know a ton of math and they get to be lazy and all this other stuff. It's more about providing value and being a real estate entrepreneur. And as you learn to do these things, as we continue to put forth new content that will help you, that's my goal. That's the whole reason Cashflow Diary now exists is because over the past couple of years, I've had the privilege of working with thousands of entrepreneurs in Estonia and in Italy, in Europe, in US, in Canada. We've helped a number of people actually retire or people who were even having high income W-2 jobs. Now I'm talking multiple six figures. Now they have their own business. And I'm just like, cool. It's actually becoming fun for me anyway. And as we go through this transition, I'm learning all these online techniques and things and just like, awesome, more fun stuff. And then I get the kids to participate, as you can see in the background. Wave again, because you're cute and they'll pay attention so long as you're here. Anyway, but she was the one that my wife was pregnant with when she first had hyperemesis. And that's the thing is, obviously my wife is okay. We have 4 kids now, all those types of things. But during that time is when I got a real hard lesson that go to school, get good grades and get a job had a weakness. and it has what is called a single point of failure. And that's the one thing you want to avoid. In fact, right now, I'm talking to all of you who have a job. If that's all you have a single point of failure. You can't fly an airplane with one wing. Why? Because it'll fall straight out of the sky. And if you only have one source of income, you, my friends, have a single point of failure. And the key is to own and control an asset. And that's the thing. There are many problems that a real estate entrepreneur gets to solve. And as we get to solve those things, that's what we get rewarded for. We provide jobs, we provide housing. And the better we get at that, the more jobs we provide, the more housing we provide, the more benefits that come to us. This is the essence of what Cashflow Diary is and does. And that's who we're looking for. We're looking for those individuals who are ready to stand out, who want to be those real estate entrepreneurs. Because here's the deal. I can't do every deal. I don't even want to do every deal. Not every deal is something I even want to do. Like, for example, I don't really mess with single family houses a whole lot anymore. We have a ton of students who mess with them, which is great, but I don't. I tend to do, like I said, apartment houses, 70 units or higher, cell phone towers, commercial real estate, commercial retail to be very specific. And that's like my game. And those are the things that get me excited. And what also gets me excited is letting people know that it's not about your resources. It's not about how much money you have. It's not about how much credit you have. And for those of you who have money or credit, all I'm going to say is you're still going to run out of your own money or credit, and you're going to be at the same place where I started from, with a credit score, with a bad credit score, and no money. And you're going to have to learn how to use other people's resources, or you're going to be stuck, because that's exactly what happens to most of the experienced investors that I hang around. They're always complaining about how the bank won't give them a loan. There's no buyers. There's no deals. And it's only because how they grew up in the business. They had so many resources given to them, they never had to create any on their own. So, I see some of the questions. I'm gonna get to them. I see lots of questions, and this is awesome. So this is great. This is telling me that you guys, want, this type of information. Keep going with the hearts. Give me lots of thumbs up and comments over here on Facebook. So that way that's great. Let me see. What is it? Venture says, I've been hearing a depression. Wes, if you could type that again and I'll catch it. So let me get some of these questions. Ozzy Smith, how do we start? Well, the first step. Okay, got it. So Ozzy, one of the first things, and I teach this in some of our basic courses, is to operate as an entrepreneur, to be able to see problems as opportunities and understand what the problems are. Here's the deal. Very few of us are actually educated. Many of us have a lot of schooling. Now, some of you probably are, so don't get offended. And again, I'm not known for pulling punches and I just say things. If I just make you mad, understand that that's not my fault. That's just you and your reaction. What I hear, but stick around long enough so that you can hear. Many of us have been trained to recognize opportunity. The purpose of education, please hear me clearly. The purpose of education is to train you and I to recognize opportunity. That's it. The challenge is we've only been trained to recognize one type of opportunity, spelled J-O-B, period. That's the issue. So the first thing has to start with new training so that you can recognize opportunity together. I got it. So Wes over here on Periscope is asking, he's hearing a depression is coming. How would you navigate real estate in that point, in that way? And Ursula, thank you, for the kudos in the comment. But the thing is, like I said, so here's a great example, right? You hear on the news, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. Okay. I don't care really what it is. So for those of you who watch CNN, I just call that constant negative news. Okay. CNN, constant negative news. And that's actually a good thing. Because one, it keeps the people who don't know out of the market, and it leaves room only for those who know how to transform problems into opportunity. And that's, again, one of the training pieces, is to understand. So just because there's an economic depression, that doesn't mean the need for housing goes away. I don't care. I mean, you can go all the way back. You can look at Germany, Weimar. You can look at the U.S. in the 30s. You can look at the U.S. today. Everybody still likes to have a roof over their head. That's one, I mean, that's not going to go away anytime soon. And here's the other reason why cash flow is way more important than the top line value. So in some of our advanced courses, I invented a technology called a profit analysis quadrant, and it shows you the multiple ways to profit. Here's the deal. Here's my point. The value of a property is irrelevant if you have positive income. For example, if I had a building, let's say I've got a 10-unit building. This 10-unit building happens to be valued, and I'm making up numbers right now. Let's just say it's $300,000, right? So if I have a 10-unit build, in fact, here's what I can do. Let me test this out. So again, this being one of the first ones. So I'm going to test this out for you guys. You let me know how I'm doing. So let's say we have a 10-unit building that has a value of $300,000. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. We have a 10-unit building that has a value for $300,000. Okay, but let's just say that over time, what has happened is that the value has gone down and is now only $200,000. But for the sake of this example, I owe $500,000 on it. I'm just being ridiculous, but you'll get my point. All right. The first question is this a problem? Well, it's only a problem if you actually have to sell. So please hear me clearly. It's only a problem if you have to sell. The question, if in this same scenario, after all expenses, see 1, 2, 3, 4, let's just do 1,500. Let's assume that you have $1,500 a month because you've learned how to own and control. The key word is you've learned how to own and control, also known as operate a business, which is how I look at each property. Each property is kind of like its own business, but you have a positive income of $1,500 a month. Well, with that $1,500, you don't have to sell, right? Because guess what? I may not need a pen. I may not need a fancy Apple Watch. I may not need a new computer. And all of those, I love Apple products, by the way. I mean, all of those things are there. They're all businesses, but I need a place to stay. And those are the things that, put those caps back on for me. Those are the things that we're playing on. Real estate is, like I said, it has great magnitude because everybody needs a place to live, work, play, or lay. And it's understanding these things that begin to make the difference. I'm wondering, can I scroll? Oh, cool. So over here on Facebook, just so you guys know, I'm scrolling back through to see your questions because I can see them. And I'll keep asking them because at the end of the day, we'll be done soon because my kids are hungry and I want to eat some pizza myself. Let's see. Crystal is asking, do you mentor? The answer is yes. Bobby Strong is asking, do you mentor? The answer is yes. What is this? William H. Russell, how with no money or credit? How with no money or credit, again, is about recognizing value. For example, it's about recognizing value. Let me give you a different example because this is the one I tend to use from stage. The person who invented this pen, Sharpie in particular, probably had an income problem, an income issue. What does that mean? That means they took their ideas, they packaged it and sold it. They created an asset, intellectual property in this particular case, put some accounting around it and some systems. And because, hey, they provided me something I needed. So earlier today, I went over to Staples, bought this because I knew I was coming here to provide value for you guys. I needed a way to write on these cards so hopefully you could see it, right? Well, I don't even know how much I gave them, but I gave them, let's call it $5. You do enough of these, that solves the income problem. I didn't care what their credit score was. They solved my problem. That's what I cared. I needed a way to communicate, because that's what I love doing. I love teaching. I needed a way to communicate to you guys in a visual way so that you could see what I was talking about. And they solved my problem. Same thing when it comes to real estate. Most people don't really, again, if you think traditionally, if you're dealing with realtors, if you're dealing with traditional lenders, they care about your credit score and they care about you. That's not what we do. That's not where the real estate entrepreneur plays. And the cool thing is we only play in about 5% of the entire real estate market, but inside that 5% is billions upon billions of dollars and euros available depending on what country you're watching me from. Just trust me on that. So Ozzy, I'm going to answer your question very clearly because my kids are getting hungry. Here's what I want you to do. For those of you that want to at least get started, hopefully it's okay if I give you something for free. I have lots of free things to give. We have stuff to sell, but that's not the point today. Right now, I am trying to get used to this whole live streaming thing and make all this happen. Yeah, hand me one, please. My daughter is awesome. She really gets this. Awesome. So here's a book that I published a little bit ago, and it actually is available. It's available in Barnes and Noble, Amazon. It's available so that, if you actually want a physical copy. But here's what I'm going to do for all of you who want an electronic copy, or if you'd like to get a discount on the audiobook. So I also know that everybody learns in different modalities. Some of you like to read, some of you like to experience through videos and tactile and you're kinesthetic. Some of you, if you're like me, you're an audio learner. So we try to produce content in all formats at all the time. So obviously, if you want to go actually get a physical copy, that's going to cost you some money. But if you'd like, you can you can send a text message. Text the word CFD book to 33444. I'll leave that up here for a little minute. Text the word CFD book to 33444, and it'll send you a link. Give us your name and email, and I will send you an electronic copy of the book. Or you can go to CashFlowDiary.com/free book. CashFlowDiary.com/free book will get you the exact same, to the exact same place. Now, for those of you who want the audio, if you do this exact same thing, you will be given a special offer to get 50% off the audiobook if you want to. Again, you don't have to, because you'll have the PDF copy immediately. However, I will tell you this: I did put extra content that is in the audiobook, and it's only in the audiobook. It's not on my podcast. It's not on my YouTube channel. It has never been made into an article. To my knowledge, I don't even think I've ever done it from stage. It's only available in the audiobook. So if you want, again, you can send a text message to 33444. The keyword is CFD book, or you can go to CashFlowDiary.com/free book. So I'm going to answer a few more of these questions that I see coming up. Sorry, forgive my fingers. I'm learning here how to work this out. Let me see. What is that? Okay, I think I've answered that. Do you mentor, or how do we buy the courses and the training? Crystal, for right now, what I would do is I would start right here. That's the first place that I would start. If you really, really want, though, Crystal, there is a presentation that you can catch later today, and I'm going to write that out for you. Let me see. I don't know if I have a text code for that one yet, but I guess what you're telling me, I guess I should. Oh, actually, yes, I do. So if you want, I have a presentation that'll get you started, Crystal. You can text CFD solid. Give me red. Awesome. Thank you. Helper, but not. So 3444. So Crystal, for you, if you want, text CFD solid, SOLID, to 33444, and it'll give you a link to a 90-minute presentation, which will give you some of the details on some of the courses and training. Again, CFD solid, 33444. It'll give you the information on that, because we have a number of members. Mike AI, I think, it says, how can I buy property with other people's money? Where do I start? Again, Mike, I'm going to tell you to go to say, you've got two choices. If you just want to read a book, you can go here. If you want a presentation, inside the presentation, I break down my profit analysis quadrant. It's been responsible for tens of millions of dollars that I've personally raised, and same for my students. So that would totally help you there. Let me see. Mike is saying, I have 2 rental properties so far. Excellent. Good job. First of all, Mike, I want everybody to acknowledge you. So everybody give over here on Periscope, give him a big round of applause. Give me some hearts for Mike, because he took action and he got something done. So I think that's awesome. Look, see the hearts, the blue, the purple. Awesome. Excellent, guys. Keep that going. Hands in the air like you just don't care. That's exactly what I'm talking about. He took action, and most people only sit and think about it, Mike. So good job. Good job. Good job. Ursula says, tip, when you see the question or comment, just press the box. It will freeze the comment, tip, or question. Awesome, Ursula. Thank you a lot, because I'm like struggling. I'm like, it's going by too fast. All right, awesome. Thank you, Ursula. Mike says, I have 2 rental properties so far, but can't buy another because of debt to income ratio. What is your solution? Mike, you just said, this is exactly my point. Everybody gets limited because they start with their own money or credit. This is exactly my issue. This was the thing. This is why I have to keep creating real estate entrepreneurs. Because, Mike, let me just tell you, there are trillions of dollars in retirement plans that are currently underperforming. I am working with a client right now who, in their retirement plan, they got a negative 1% return. And they didn't even know it. And they were like, well, that's how I'm going to retire. Not at negative 1%. In the information that we share, we show you exactly how to use other people's retirement plans to fund your deal so you can go buy as many properties as you want. Period. That is the core of where we live, Mike, is we're solving people's problems, creating their ability to retire. Again, if for that, Mike, you're really going to want to send a text message to CFD Solid 33444. Text CFD Solid to 33444. And so that you can begin to learn it, because you're asking some of the higher level questions. And in chapter 9 of the book, Mike, chapter 9 of the book, I go over the profit analysis quadrant, which is the technology that I invented that shows you how to raise capital using a napkin, like literally a napkin. So because that's just what I had to do. So. With that, I did not intend to go this long, but this was kind of fun, huh? Did you have fun? Yeah. You had fun? Yeah, I think so. Can we get some hearts for her? Can we get some hearts? Yes, give Jasleen some hearts, because that was great. Give me some thumbs ups and some likes over here. Anyway, guys, we're gonna, I know, I didn't mean to go this long. I just started talking and had fun. Anyway, this was fun. For those of you on the replay, the text codes should still be good. So if you want to go there, by all means, please do. Hopefully some of you, maybe you'll get started on your journey tonight. And I could be a part of that. That's one of the things that I enjoy the most is being a part, 1% of inspiring somebody. Like I know Sandy's watching right now, and she's recently had some great breakthroughs. And I mean, she's been renting properties in Southern California for $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 a month, single family houses, because of a specific niche that she's figured out. And I am just fired up for her, because that is awesome on a whole new level. And if you want to have a shot at doing things like that, we have a complete online community that's designed to create real estate entrepreneurs. And the thing that I really want to stress is, you guys, you don't understand. It's not an overnight thing. It's not something you can learn in a 3-day seminar. But over time, as we work with your thinking, I can help you take different actions and become a completely different person. With that being said, I've had some fun. I'm glad you guys are having fun. Again, give us some hearts, give us some likes, share with a friend. We will be producing more content like this, because this is fun for me. This is a fun format for me, and it makes it easy. Thank you, Ursula, for saying that I'm a phenomenal teacher. I appreciate that. This is actually where my genius comes out. And yes, Mavi, you are correct. It is pizza time. So I will catch you guys later. Until next time.